So, if you don't know, Ronald Reagan was essentially one of our worst presidents. He was president from 81 to 89, January 20th of both years. However, a lot of conservatives disagree with me on that. They think he was some amazing president who saved America from insert whatever they don't like here. And as such, some people, including this guy, Gib Kearney, I think is how you pronounce that, wrote books about what if he got a third term. Reagan's third term, how 4 more years saved the world and reshaped America. This is real. This was released in April 2017, however, I just found out about it. In Reagan's third term, author Gib Carey presents an exciting story of how one of America's most beloved presidents, I don't know if I'd call him, in certain circles, yeah, but there are quite a few circles that don't like or hate him, might have significantly altered history if elected to serve 4 more years. The book opens on Valentine's Day, 1988, with news that the military coup has disposed Mikhail Gorbachev, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that, as leader of the USSR. Hey, Gib, that's a common World War III scenario. Is that how you're going to run a presidency? Just Reagan's going to go on TV and be like, I can't do a good Reagan impression. Why? I'll have you know, guys. I caused World War III, okay? And that is why I deserve a third term. Okay? I mean, at that point, Reagan was already extremely stricken with Alzheimer's. He probably couldn't even tell what year it was at that. You know, after a series of missteps by candidate George H.W. Bush, Congress revokes the 22nd Amendment, and Ronald Reagan wins re-election, beating Senator Ted Kennedy for some reason, even though Ted Kennedy didn't even run in 1988. Like, he could have just said Michael Douglas, because that's who actually got nominated in 88, but okay, you could have said, you know, Jesse Jackson actually ran, Al Gore ran in 88, Paul Simon actually ran, Dick Gebhardt, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that, did actually run in 88. He could have just said one of those, but no, for some reason he picked Ted Kennedy. Okay? But the world Reagan inherits is a dangerous place, on the verge of war. Actually, we've already been at war. With an with expansionist Soviet Union and teetering on economic collapse. It would have collapsed anyway, let's be real. At home, the president struggles to advance the conservative agenda, confront a domestic coup d'etat, and choose a successor to the Reagan Revolution. And choose a successor true to the Reagan Revolution, my bad. I had a hard time pronouncing that one sentence for some reason. North Korea, new appointments to the Supreme Court, abortion, school prayer. Most of these are one sentence, by the way. Very few actually have commas. Israel, Iraq, Libya, welfare, the culture war, which... wasn't that coined by Birchman in 92? That wouldn't make any sense. You know, it's like having, I don't know, Richard Nixon use Make America Great Again. It just comes off as awkward. The demise of the Democratic Party, It's All There, and more. As a work of alternative history, Kearney's novel blends actual events and figures from the period with others that would have challenged and defined the Reagan presidency in fascinating new ways. Well-researched. No comment. With an authoritative tone, Reagan's third term is both comprehensive and convincing in its depiction of what might have been. Throughout, Ronald Reagan is presented as a heroic figure. I thought you said this was well-researched. who stands tall as a heroic figure, who stands tall and resolution in doing what is right. It concerns Saddam Hussein's invasion of Iraq. Saddam Hussein was the president of Iraq. There'd be very little reason to invade him for that matter. Given what George H.W. Bush did with Iraq with his buddies, what Daddy Bush did, yeah, I don't see that ending well. Okay. Making changes to the U.S. Constitution, overhauling welfare, or confronting a nuclear North Korea. This book also presents a very human side of Reagan. Whether threatened by assassination, allegations of racial insensitivity, he said that discrimination against black people was a human right. Or struggling with the dissent from within his own party. Okay, forgive me for my ignorance, but his own party loved him. His own party loved him, and they still love him. I don't really see where all the dissent, unless you're going to argue that, oh, George H.W. Bush wasn't a true successor, in which case, stop. Just promise you'll stop. I mean, keep in mind, by the time Reagan hit a second term, he was already so stricken with Alzheimer's, it's typically believed that it was, depending on who you ask, either Nancy Reagan or George H.W. Bush calling all the shots. You know, there's a reason why a lot of people joke that George H.W. Bush's term was basically Reagan's third term. Above all, Reagan's third term is a fun and engaging read, full of twists and surprises. At the center of all is a portrayal of Ronald Reagan guaranteed to delight his admirers, a man whose character provides him with the strength to take on the world and transform it into something very different from the fragile and dangerous one we now inhabit. Okay. So, I'll admit, alternate history can be interesting. I love Alternate History Hub. I think it's a really interesting series. However, with Alternate History Hub, I don't consider it very biased. I don't think it sits there and goes, why, I don't know where Alternate History Hub is politically. Maybe he's a Republican, maybe he's a Democrat, I don't know. Maybe he's neither, maybe he's Libertarian, maybe he's a Green Party member, I don't know. It never seeps into his work because it feels factual. This guy's just sitting there going, oh my god, 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 Ronald Reagan is so great, he's so great, he's so great. Wouldn't it be amazing if he ran for a third term? Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't it be amazing if he was just king of America? No! And you writing your Ronald Reagan fan fiction. That's what I consider it's Reagan fan fiction. Doesn't change that. But okay. Here's my favorite part. You want to know how long this book is? 578 pages. This man wrote 578 pages of Ronald Reagan fan fiction. Oh my god. How do you respond to things like that? You honestly wrote over 500 pages just talking about how great Emperor, oh Holy One, Ronald Reagan was. And keep in mind, you want to know how I found this? Is because I was looking for some books on him. I wanted to purchase a few, I'm a liberal, so I wanted to find some more left-wing books of Reagan. You Google Reagan. It's not even like you find neutral, bipartisan books. A lot of the books you go, if you search up Amazon, is just openly, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, he's amazing, he's amazing, he's amazing, he's amazing, he's amazing. Here are just some of the titles I found. So I found the first book that what appeared to be even slightly anti-him. True Reagan, What Made Ronald Reagan Great and Why It Matters. The Notes, Ronald Reagan's private collection of stories and wisdom. The Working Class Republican, Ronald Reagan and the Return of Blue-Collar Conservatism. When Character Was King, a story of Ronald Reagan. God's Prolific Voices to America. God's Prolific Voices to America. I just need to say that again because it's so silly in my opinion. JFK and the Reagan Revolution. A Secret History of American Prosperity. Never tell this man about the savings and loans crash. Ever. He'll just... boom. Ronald Reagan, How an Ordinary Man Became an Extraordinary Leader. I don't even know why this one's in here. Israel in the Bible Prophecy, Past, Present, and Future for some reason. And it just goes on. God and Ronald Reagan. A Spiritual Life. These are just getting funnier and funnier. Oh man. A 16-month calendar of his. And keep in mind, at this point, we haven't even come to the first mildly negative-looking book about him. We are still at just a somewhat neutral looks at him, or, oh my god, wasn't he great, wasn't he great, wasn't he great, oh my god, he was amazing, just perfect, he should have been king, he was the emperor, basically. Here's one, How Ronald Reagan Changed My Life. This one only has 2 left in stock, order soon. The Wit and Wisdom of Ronald Reagan. It's just... Conservative Heroes, 14 leaders who shaped America, from Jefferson to Reagan. I'm not even making this up. This is all just silly. Reagan worship is just silly. Anyway, that's it. I'm Ephrom, and good night.